Hey, just ready to have some fun or do something. I got some good videos. Let me just shut the hell up. You got some popcorn or something? No? Okay, neither do I. And stop making me pause while you use the bathroom. Just 'cause I look like this doesn't mean I'm not still watching you scratch your ass. And don't off while I'm like, I know you like my face. Well, actually, if you're a pretty girl, girl, this is your moment. Do it. Did I creep you out? Yeah, I creep myself out too. Okay, don't use that. Don't use that. Do like, um, yeah, I got nothing. Shit, I kind of ruined the moment, didn't I? I always talk too much. It's like when I'm right here, I'm like this, and I look up, and I'm like, "So how you been?" And I ask about her kids. Yeah, I always ruin the moment.
Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygard has agreed to be extradited to the U.S. Nygard appeared via video link from prison at his extradition hearing in Winnipeg this morning after he signed a consent form agreeing to face charges in New York on counts of sex trafficking and racketeering. CBC's Caroline Bargout has been following all of the developments of this case after Nygard's arrest in December of 2020. She was inside that courtroom in Winnipeg.
Technology Peter and I are investing in is called SCNT, which takes.
I know we've probably all seen this clip before, but that's him. Making more damn sense. This creep.
The egg of a young, perfect woman specimen, takes the egg and takes out the nucleus and puts our DNA in the nucleus. They just go ahead and take it out.
It's painful, right?
Huh?
Is it painful to use this?
Yeah. And this is part of this genetic greatness that we don't see in any other race on the planet. These curvy, sexy black women from Africa. You girls have a kind of a monopoly on this genetic perfection, and we want some of that. So, girls, for $100, we would pay you for your egg.
I pay you $100. Monkey.
So how much do you want for it? Let's bid. I bid $500. Whatever I bid, he's going to outbid me. I bought about $60,000 worth of eggs. Yeah. If you have abortion, that's very valuable. Umbilical cord, you know, and placenta, you know, in your period blood is so rich with stem cells. Mm-hmm. When you regard it as waste, then it actually should be. It should be captured as recycled, mm-hmm. And it should go to waste. It's life for somebody, you know, and it's life for mankind. The best eggs are 16 to 18 years old. Those are the best eggs. As you get older, your eggs get weaker and weaker.
Yeah, that sounds thinking.
So you may not be our candidate.
No, that's fine. I'm going with my business anyway.
Not sure how many people are aware of this, but I think it was in the 40s or 50s when we first started to unlock DNA. There was a black woman who had it all. I mean, her DNA, her eggs, her everything was incredible, amazing, and it got to the point where we still to this day have her DNA, and that's what we reference and go back to when we're using stuff, and that's why we talk about black women like that. They say it's something in the melanin. I'm not exactly sure. I know melanin is expensive. Let's try not to get too much into that, but it's a very serious rabbit hole. If you want to go down, I do recommend checking it out. Look into it, the lady exactly.
This is wild. A document from the Epstein files says that Epstein's body was snuck out of the jail in a van and that they literally ran a decoy operation to avoid cameras. Look here, a male OCME official called and said he would be arriving at the loading dock with a black vehicle. In order to thwart the media, and blank used boxes and sheets to create what appeared to be a human body, which was put put into the white OCME vehicle, which the press followed, allowing the black vehicle to depart unnoticed with Epstein's body. That, coupled with the 4chan message that one of the prison guards posted the night before Jeffrey Epstein died, saying that he thinks that they swapped out the body, and the inconsistencies of the Epstein body compared to when Epstein was alive, sure makes me wonder if he still is. So, what do you think? Is he alive and well, or is this just another crazy conspiracy theory? As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
I very clearly remember them doing this to a guy named Michael Jackson, and the same thing happened to him, and he didn't really die, and then something like that was planned out, and now he's on some beach somewhere with Tupac. I don't know. What do you think? Is it true? Is it true? None of them die, huh? None of them? They just be drinking the gold juice? Is it adrenochrome? Blood? What is it? Are they vampires? They're not spiritual soul suckers, right? That's my ex-wife. I don't have an ex-wife. I don't know why I said that. I'm too young for an ex-wife. I'm old as fuck. I got an old soul. I gotta stop talking. I'm just rambling. Why are you listening too? You're weird. You're listening.
Oh no, they just like art that represents the reptilian mind. They're not actually reptilian. You sound like an idiot, and I'm finna prove it right now. These pictures came in the Epstein files. This one immediately made my blood just stop. Do you not see this and this? And the worst part, this to this. Oh my God! This represents how the reptilians are literally interdimensional. They're not even allowed to vibrate on this plane. They need to come through compatible bodies that...
The bodies that they lower the aura fields.
From the specific bloodlines that let them kind of shift into here. When you see ghosts and stuff, they're never solid. They're kind of hazy, but because they're a little bit out of this dimension. Now, do I even need to talk about this? This is literally saying, bro, even though it looks like a silhouette of a human, it doesn't have to be. Do I even need to mention this or this? Let's just talk about these. They take these babies that are full of adrene, they do the most horrendous things to them, kill them right in that moment, and what gets that energy? They literally turn into energy. Yeah, saying this shit is symbolic at this point, 2026, nigga, you're just dumb.
Yeah, I gotta agree with the whole, if you just believe it's symbolic and they're just using codes and just talking or something, what have you been? This is happening right in front of our faces. Allegedly. It's not. It's just go lay down. You're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Watch your kids, though.
What is happening in the world of show business, and why does everyone look so different? People have started noticing it everywhere. Cynthia Erivo's hands, the way they look now, the shape, the texture. Many say it doesn't look normal anymore. Then there's Jenna, her face, her expressions, the way she moves. Something feels off, as if her appearance has been altered. And it doesn't stop there. The annual situation raised even more questions. His behavior, his look, the drastic change. Jenna herself admitted that the transformation was radical, so radical that people are now saying it looks like an entirely different person. Then there's Ariana Grande. Look closely. This isn't just uncomfortable, it's disturbing. Side-by-side comparisons from different years show changes that go far beyond weight loss or makeup. Bone structure, skin, eyes, things that shouldn't change this way. Some say it's illness. Others say stress. But there are theories that go much darker. Theories about replacements, about cloning, about something being done behind the scenes in the entertainment industry, patterns that keep repeating across different celebrities. All of these cases are connected by one thing: none of them feel natural. Once you start noticing it, you can't stop seeing it everywhere. What do you think is really happening to these celebrities?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's cocaine. What the hell is that? Did you hear that too?
Egyptian headdresses are trippy. They're more like the badges on a general's uniform than an actual crown. Symbolically and biologically, they represent different parts of the brain. This one is on Khnum. Just to reinforce that their concepts, none of these have ever been found in real life anywhere. Let's break down a few just to prove this. The little circle in the center, that is the pineal gland. The one on top of the hat is the pituitary gland. The top-down view up here is showing the third ventricle from the side. But this guy is going to get you. This is the corpus callosum. It connects both sides of the brain and straddles the third ventricle. Those are ostrich feathers, and this is awesome because the Egyptians make you work for this. The ostrich is a flightless bird. Now, if you understand Horus, this will make a lot more sense. Horus is the concept of the primary emissions of the sun. Think colors. Well, a flightless bird is that concept grounded in the brain. And guess what the corpus callosum does? Connecting the two hemispheres, it allows for coherent perception of vision. So now when you see someone wearing this, you know they understand the concepts of physics, biology, neurology, geometry, and ostriches. And that is just the surface. I just posted a YouTube video on this if you want to go deeper on this, and it gets a little crazy. Is that not the coolest? They told you this with a cartoon.
It is beyond amazing how they were able to put it in artwork so that you can figure it out at a later time. I mean, it's truly amazing. If you see this stuff, and then even in the Renaissance artwork, I wonder what people are doing in artwork now. Have you seen that one of King Charles Red that when you invert it? No, they still wouldn't be doing it nowadays, right? Nah.
Yeah, here we go. So I'm just going to put this on play, all right? We're going to watch 4366 develop over time. It's already becoming a pretty significant sunspot group. I'd say right around this zone is where the sunspot we just had that gave us a near Carrington level impact was. We'll look at that one too. That was just back on, again, January 18th. So we'll just go back a little bit after this and check out that sunspot to see what that gave us. Look at that growth though. Look at that development. This is not normal. And there's so many different signs too that are pointing to this, but look at how this changes. Like just the movement of these sunspot cores is so crazy. Like that right there, I mean, it's just so like insane.
Rick and Morty told us, and everything you see on a TV or a movie is true. Everybody knows that. They have to tell us in the movies and the TV. That there's islands on the sun, and there's a king and knights, and they do heroin because they have good veins. It was on a cartoon TV movie, so it has to be true.
He said, the pyramids weren't built. They were unbuilt. About 2 years ago, I got an email from a guy who had a theory about the pyramids. And at first, I kind of ignored it. Because when it comes to the pyramids, the line between researcher and conspiracy theorist gets a little blurry. But he sent me all of his research, almost 10 years of work. And I did look at it eventually. And it completely changed the way that I look at the pyramids. He said, the pyramids weren't built. They were unbuilt. And maybe all the missing evidence that we've been searching for, the ramps, the tools, and the machinery, it's not missing at all. It's actually right in front of us, just misinterpreted. So I want to walk you through this theory today, but I'm not going to lie, this email did take me down a very strange rabbit hole. Because for all the theories and simulations and 4,000 years of research and speculation, we actually know very little about how these structures were built. We can't understand the pyramids without talking about time, because the pyramids are very, very old. The cliche saying is that Cleopatra lived closer to the iPhone than she did to the construction of the pyramids. The ancient Romans would tour the pyramids like we tour the Colosseum today. And over that insane scale of time, things get blurry. But what we do know is that pyramids themselves were the endpoint of a massive architectural learning curve, each one taking about 10 to 15 years, and each one getting us closer to the Great Pyramid. 146 meters tall, 2.3 million blocks of stone. The base is almost a perfect square, off by mere centimeters, with a slope so razor precise, because even the slightest variation would mean a failure at the top. And the whole thing is aligned almost perfectly to true north, off by just 1/15 of a degree. And they did all of this without compasses or lasers or GPS. As far as we know, they used nothing but the stars. And if you scaled it to the size of the Earth, the height to base ratio would almost match the curvature of the planet. The latitude is the exact same number as the speed of light, and just 0.0002 degrees off from the pyramid's latitude is also this subway in Louisiana, because a lot of things exist on that latitude. But you see, the pyramids seem so impossible, and our understanding is so limited, that it's just the perfect breeding ground for conspiracy theory.
That actually is pretty solid. I mean, built inwards, backwards, just like everything else is inverted in this world. And then they restructured it, reversing it. That makes kind of some sense. I mean, it's obvious it wasn't a tomb, but what type of, power structure or plant, whatever it is, I have no idea. But we should be rolling dice and throwing out random stuff until something sticks.
The conspiracy theorists were right again. Have you guys seen what's going on in Oxford right now in the UK? They just set up their little 15-minute city, and they are now charging people for leaving the city. You get 100 free days. They call it a free day. You get a free pass to leave the 15-minute city. And if you exceed your 100 free days, you have to pay the US dollar equivalent of $93 per day. And if you live outside of the 15-minute city and you want to travel into the 15-minute city, you get 25 free passes, free movement. Oh, the government's giving you free movement capability. You get 25 free passes. And if you exceed those 25 days, it's $93 a day. And how are they tracking all this? Oh, there's not a man at the gate. They're not writing up tickets or having police officers set up. Oh no, they are monitoring you with digital AI surveillance and cameras. And then they're automatically finding you. This is why we have to be against the flock cameras in the United States. They're not just speed trap cameras. This is why we have to be against the Palantir whole of government database. This is why we have to stand up and raise awareness and bring attention to these matters instead of arguing with each other and NPCs on the internet over left versus right issues or my side, your side. They are keeping us artificially divided because they're setting up this infrastructure in the United States right now. Divide and conquer. We are in the division part of the divide and conquer agenda. Conquer is next. You think it's bad now? Wait till you have to pay $100 a day to leave your 15 minutes.
Always remember, today's conspiracy theory is tomorrow conspiracy fact. We are undefeated. It has been happening. It's gonna happen. Allegedly.
Everybody's aware. Let's take a trip down memory lane, because believe it or not, it's been in every single open ceremony in front of our face for as long as we've been alive. Not only Baal, Baal, or Baal, their god, and their other deities like Moloch or Molech, which are all the same deity. Of course, like seen in New York, and also other things happening around the entire country. But they also show us in great detail, may I add, what they do and even where they do it. Baal with the slaves in the 2022 Commonwealth Games is actually way less severe than what I'm about to show you now. So check this out. You have this lady wearing all red, and there's a whole bunch of people cloaked in red around this castle. Remember, she's missing a head. In this same exact ceremonies where you have this guy laying down on the table as their meal, what's that? No way it could be the same thing, right? This castle, with all these people cloaked in red, and the lady without a head, didn't mean to rhyme, is paying homage to the Mothers of Darkness Castle. The same castle that all journalists from ABC, NBC were all denied access to, which is said they go here to do really bad things. And that same exact castle has an area called the 1,000 Points of Light, because all the light entering it, and that's why we have presidents talking about 1,000 points of light.
I've spoken of 1,000 points of light, of all the community organizations that are spread like stars throughout the nation.
This was in regards to a deleted tape of him talking about it, and now he wants to explain it away as philanthropy. And I can't even talk about the things done in this castle, but worse, outside of the castle, in the woods at nighttime. They do a lot of hunting. Deer hunting.
I used to be shocked that this stuff is out there, and that, I mean, these are people's taxes. Maybe not my country, but it's coming here soon, and I will be there protesting and out there doing something about it. I mean, allegedly. It's up to you guys. You do what you want, but it's too much for me. It's too much.
I'll tell you a little secret. If I take a dolphin and I slow it down, it sounds like a monkey. If I take a chimpanzee Then I speed it up. Sounds like a mouse. If I take a mouse, slow it down, sounds like a seagull. If I take a seagull and slow the seagull down, sounds like a gorilla or a whale. If I take a whale and we speed the whale up, sounds like birds. Here's some cows. Sped up, they sound like puppies. If we slow crickets down, we're back at birds. Information is transmitted via waves. We can see that, we can hear that. The fundamental is the carrier wave. The harmonics differentiate my voice from a singer. Whales communicate below our hearing, so we have to speed it up to hear it. Our hearing is right here, and above it.
Frickin' bats. I love Halloween.
Frickin' bats and whales and dolphins use higher frequencies to see. They bounce the waves off to get an image. Everything is connected this way. Grizzly bears even sound like humans.
Wait, so all the stupid TV shows and movies and things that told me that's what was really happening was true? So things really are what are on TVs and movies, and I didn't know that, and now I know that, but now I'm scared because I've seen a lot of cartoons?
Think of it this way. How many people can rap? A gazillion. So what puts you in the front of the line? It can't just be talent. No, it can't be talent. All earthly fame is from the devil. Period. He's the prince and power of the air. He's the God of this world. He wouldn't have offered it to Jesus if he didn't have it to give. But he didn't want the devil's offer because the devil wanted service unto him. If you take this, bow down to me, I'll give you this. Right?
The moment I was offered, the best thing that came to my mind is if you're here, then the other one's here. So if you're here trying to steal me from him, then I'm good and I'm out. Thank you.
So the whole reason that your pipes are copper is because they actually found out the benefits the copper was bringing to the water. Because in the 1800s, they found out that the copper was not only structuring the water, but it was purifying it to a level they've never seen before. And that's exactly why they'd have copper water fountains like you can see here, which came before the copper pipes. And you could see that the water would stay pure for days in these vessels. So then copper pipes came in, because people wanted this water on tap wherever they were. And also the copper was having an antibacterial and antiviral benefit, hence why the copper cups were used in hospitals alongside linen sheets. And there was actually a point in the late 1800s where pathogenic viruses and bacteria were essentially non-existent wherever the copper was in dense amounts. For example, cities such as Chicago in 1893. But then the medical system was bought out by Rockefeller, and they didn't like the fact that people were benefiting from copper. And that's one of the main reasons new houses do not contain copper piping. Instead, they're only using plastic.
I would agree with a lot of that stuff, but we used to die at the age of 25 from having to poop. So, maybe it's some bullshit in there. Just a little tiny bit.
We're not playing around about making the Michael Jackson biopic. The details are insane. Throughout filming, they used heavy prosthetics and digital nose tweaks on Michael's nephew Jafar Jackson so that they could exactly match MJ's evolving look over decades. They went and recreated the Thriller zombie dance on the exact same LA street where MJ filmed the original music video in 1983. They rebuilt the sets of Neverland Ranch down to the details for complete authenticity to MJ's actual estate. Over 30 of MJ's songs are featured, including deep cuts. For the role, Jafar trained for over a year in breath control, moonwalk variations, vocals, and dancing to make sure that he nailed Michael's stage presence and voice to a T. And from seeing just the newest trailer, the details are insane and he sounds just like MJ. And they considered splitting it into 2 parts but decided to keep it as one epic music journey instead. At this point, I don't think it's crazy to say that this movie is going to make $2 billion, maybe even 3, and be the biggest release of 2026 over Avengers Doomsday and Dune 3. The teasers and trailers are already smashing records with hundreds of millions of views. I think even people that never go to the movies are going to show up for this one, and it's going to end up being the best and biggest biopic.
They didn't like recreate everything and then make it that like close to the biopic, right? It wasn't a lot of drugs and molestation involved. Was that in poor taste? He didn't do anything.
too as well.
South America.
Alrighty, guys. I want you to pay attention to all this. And then I got some more stuff for you in just a minute.
This 620-mile area is called the Drake Passage, which was discovered in the 16th century by a British pirate named Francis Drake. He found it while attacking and looting the coastline of South America, and when he was moving from the eastern side.
It's so crazy. What Drake dropping an album? What, Iceman? Drake's Passage, ice melting.
To the western coastline.
There's going to be a plot twist. Just keep holding out. I just want you to watch a little bit of this and get an idea.
Drake tried to follow that ship and reach the edge of this area. What he saw there was terrifying. The ocean waves were rising up to 100 feet high. Drake quickly turned around and fled the area. Even today, after 400 years, this area remains very difficult for ships to pass through. But what
Okay, so where I'm going with this is I had a crazy vision or a dream, and I totally saw the Leviathan, and it was more live than this. I don't want to explain it, but this is its head, and its body moves upwards, and you can actually see this thing if you pay attention. Follow like a snake, follows up South America, it goes up in here towards Cuba, it wraps back in and out the coast. It's kind of hard to see, but then it goes back up into the United States, up by Mexico, into Los Angeles and California, and it follows up. It's underneath the ground, and so that's the mountain terrain you're seeing here, and you follow it back, and you can see its stinger like a scorpion and its whole tail. All right, well, if anybody knows anything about snakes, where they have babies is kind of right by this stinger barb thing, and what I thought was coincidental is a little island called Rats Island, and what do snakes eat? Rats, right? Okay, and there's a giant, what is it, like a cobra you can see from space. Looks like a little base for a serpent. Cobra Kai Kingdom. All right. Now this was really creepy. In my dream, there was tons and tons and tons of these little baby leviathans coming out of this thing as it shifts, right? And there's tons of these there. You go to right this spot and go look right now. It's all there. What's even crazier is in Arizona at Magma Road and Oak Flats is a drilling operation. In my dream, they drop a drill so far, and that's where this thing's heart is in my dream. I don't know if I'm correct, but I'm just saying this is a lot, all right? This is a lot, okay? And more coincidental. Somebody's like, look up earthquakes. Look where the head, look at this. Where's the head? Right down there at the base of South America in Drake's Passage. Look, the whole line I just described to you, the most massive earthquakes that are going on, up through South America, in through Cuba, and back up the coast, all the way up through Colorado, and all the way up the mountains, up into Alaska and out to sea. And right where its tail is at, you still can see it. This thing is lit up where it's at.
Okay, so that's a very interesting rabbit hole. So Antarctica, they say, is the wall. Now, if the Leviathan circles around Antarctica, technically it circles around the entire Earth, if you look at it in the larger scale. Now, I believe it's the Aurora Borealis that eats itself, but if you go to where's Thor from mythology? Either way, supposedly this thing circles the entire Earth, eats its own tail, and that's where all of it comes from. But because if it's true, if Antarctica is the wall and it's not a small continent like this, then that thing does circle the entire Earth. And that's kind of scary.
The DJ is a jester that's extremely demonic looking, and she glitches out randomly. I know you guys have seen those videos of people videoing the sky, and this exact same thing happens. This one's Lady Gaga coming up out of a pool because the beast rises from the sea, I think. All of these are my own opinion. I'm just giving you my line of reasoning. And then I feel like they always put dogs or something side by side to mock the Ark of the Covenant, and there's AIs running around in the background of this. I'm pretty sure this music video is from 2007. Here's a different one where she's portraying Mary Magdalene. And again, we get the Victorian, jester type makeup with the signature red hair. There's nothing wrong with having red hair. I'm just saying this character is always portrayed the exact same. There's another one where she's wearing the classic blue head thing, just like how the Catholic Mary portrays. I can't find it right now, but there's a live show that Lil Nas X did. It's actually a drone show, and he's dressed exactly like this, and there's a projection of him dressed like this in the sky being projected by the drones. Lana Del Rey portraying Catholic Mary yet again. Katy Perry chooses to go with the Hathor version. She climbs to the top of a honeycomb type thing. Satan ascending to the throne. I also think this is why Beyonce is called the Queen Bee, because they all have to mimic the of Babylon to get anywhere. She's ascending.
Oh, I know the beehive tearing her ass up. She never Beyonce hello.
The woman in Revelation 12 was given wings like an eagle. Even Moulin Rouge, it's fully of Babylon standing on the firmament themed. It's really weird once you realize this and you see everything differently. I did a ton of videos where I showed my antique Bibles that show Polaris is God's throne. It's triangle shaped. I took pictures of it myself and I've shown them. You could scroll down my profile. Lady Gaga enters into the triangle that's like Polaris, God's throne. And this video is all about her being Mother Monster. This is the manifesto of Mother Monster. Take note of the head shape, which is classic Nephilim shaped head. On Goat, a government owned alien territory in space. A birth of magnificent magical proportions took place. As the Eternal Mother hovered in the multiverse, another more terrifying birth took place. The birth of evil. So this mimics exactly like what I've been trying to explain that I think Revelation 12 is. I don't believe the mainstream theology on it. I think it's the birth of the Antichrist. Here's another video where she's like the queen and you could see the like false firmament around her. And Apollo is in the sky talking to her. She's giving out jabs.
They genuinely do love to mock things, And then you ask them about it and they're like, I wasn't doing anything. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try to find a good one to leave on a high note, or at least take something so you can leave on a high note.
If you haven't heard about the insane connection between the United Nations headquarters where it's located and the fallen angels of the Book of Enoch, then make sure you stick around. Strangely enough, the United Nations headquarters is located on Mount Hermon. Coincidentally, when you read the Book of Enoch, the fallen angels, there was 200 of them who descended on the days of Jared in the summit of Mount Hermon. Now, as if that's not crazy enough, the location, the latitude and longitude of Mount Hermon is 33.33 east and 33.33 north. And then we take a look at the United Nations logo, and if you see the individual sections here, if you count them, there's 33 sections. What a striking coincidence. We know in Freemasonry, the highest level that you can achieve is 33 degrees, which is why they use this number in everything. Mount Hermon was also very close to the mountain that Jesus ascended on, and Jesus was crucified at 33 years old. What's even more interesting about this story is Jesus dies at 33. You have 33 vertebrae in your spine, and there is an oil called Christos that goes up and down your spine every 28 days. When it hits a nerve called the vagus nerve, which looks like a cross, it dies for about 2.5 days and resurrects in your body 3 days later. Isn't that incredible? The story of Jesus is written in our bodies alone. Perhaps it's all metaphors, who knows? Anytime you see the number 33 in these major events that continue to happen throughout our whole history, you know it's the fingerprint of these people that control the United Nations, these people behind the closed doors. The 33-hour manhunt has continued, or it's over now, for Charlie Kirk. Symbolism never lies, and it's always in our faces. United Nations is a small group of people who control everything. By the way, they use a flat earth map in their logo too, just to laugh in your face.
So what you're looking at is a big face.
Guess I'd rather just leave you with some knowledge. If you look into some of that stuff, though, oh my God, it's so very important. That flat earth model, the way everything is modeled on it, including how you fly airplanes, all of that stuff is so... I mean, the Bible tells you it's not even that complicated. I'm just explaining stuff that I'm noticing. I don't even know what I'm talking about half the time. And, I'm feeling around like the blind man said. I'm just trying to see what I could feel out here. But you know what I mean? You feel me? Anyway, all right. Watch another video. Have a good day. If not, give me a thumbs up. Leave some comments. I'd love to talk about some of this stuff. Man, this stuff is interesting. But I need some people to play with. I'm tired of playing with myself. On that note, I guess I'm gonna have to go play with myself then now. Oh, I got a girlfriend. Never mind. I'm good.